Look, I get it. 2020 is a shit show. This honestly might be the craziest year of our entire lives. What we've gone through in 2020 has never happened before in such an extent. So many of us are dealing with the pandemic and staying at home from work, and there's kids everywhere. And now it's December after months and months and months of this, and it's getting even worse. There's so many stay at home orders, the elections just passed, everything is coming to a head. And I know it's so hard to think, how could I possibly look into my drinking at this moment when the world is blowing up around me, when it's the only thing I have to stabilize my moods at the end of the day and get by. I know when I was super, super stressed, I would always resort to having a drink to make me feel less on edge. And so I could just relax and take off some of the worries and stress. And so right now it might feel like it would be impossible to even take a break from alcohol or look into your drinking habit. I mean, isn't it the one healthy coping mechanism that's helping you throughout this period? Why don't we tune in to visit if that's really true or not? So my name is Carolina, and I'm an alcohol-free life coach behind Euphoric Alcohol Free, which is a space for anyone to reevaluate the role of alcohol in their lives. It's not just for you if you hit rock bottom or are, going to AA. It's actually for anyone, even light drinkers, to ask themselves, is this habit serving me and where I want to go in my life? Oftentimes, taking a break from alcohol is the greatest journey in personal growth because you get to figure out who you really are, what organically brings you joy, what you really want in this world, and what your true needs and desires are. And here's the thing, is that using alcohol to cope through hard times might feel like it's a life jacket at that moment. It might feel like you need to drink at the end of the day or a long week to get through all of the bullshit that we've been going through in 2020. I know how hard it's been this year. And yet at the same time, it might feel too stressful to even think about letting go of this life jacket. But what if alcohol was actually creating the stress in the first place? Now here's the thing. When I learned about the science of alcohol, I learned so much about how much stress hormones it releases in the body. Every time you drink, your body induces the release of cortisol, adrenaline, cortical stimulating hormones that actually make your body feel more stressed out, more on edge, and more on a flight or flight response. Your body is literally teeming with nerves every single time you drink. You might not feel it right when you're drinking because alcohol is also depressant. And the reason why your body releases the stress hormones is that in the first place is to counteract that depressant nature of alcohol on your body. So usually you feel this the next day. The next day you might wake up with more nerves, with more worries, with more stress. Here's the thing. Every single time I drink to try to relieve my stress, say I had a really, really, really hard day at work or just a lot of new to-dos, basically I was not dealing with the problem at hand. I wasn't writing a to-do list. I was just pressing a big fat ignore on the problem. And I'd often wake up the next morning with my stress compounded because now I didn't feel very good and probably had a headache and still had to deal with the same stressors that I had yesterday. Scientists have proven that alcohol, not only does it release these stress hormones in our body every single time you drink, but it also, on a molecular level, is tied to anxiety. It's very much proven that alcohol actually has a lot more to do with anxiety and mental health than we ever thought before. So, are you on edge all the time because alcohol is actually creating all these stress hormones in the body in the first place? Does that mean that when you drink, you're relaxing from the edge that alcohol put you on in the first place? Are you drinking to relieve the symptoms alcohol is bringing you? Sometimes we don't even think about this or know about this or understand this, but in truth, alcohol stresses our bodies out. It takes a very, very heavy toll on our body to be able to detoxify the alcohol, and also it changes the neurochemicals in our brains and releases these stress hormones. It really does stress your body out on a cellular level. So we have these myths in our minds, we have these beliefs that we've constructed that alcohol relaxes us and that it unwinds us from stress and it helps us after a hard day. But these are just myths because after those 20 minutes of a buzz, your body actually starts a different process, a process of releasing those stress hormones and coming crashing down to a low. You've probably felt this most acutely at like 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning when you woke up with a startling heart and your pit in your stomach and you're just asking yourself, oh gosh, it happened again. When you wake up the next day with more stress, more doom and gloom, more low feelings, I want you to know that you're totally not alone and that this is how alcohol affects most human bodies. What we don't know is the science behind it, and we often think that it's just you going through it. And so if you've been thinking about reevaluating the role of alcohol in your life or taking a break, this is the time to actually take those beliefs and ask yourselves if they're true and if they're serving you. Because as long as you think that alcohol is really relaxing you or helping you unwind from stress, the harder it's going to be to see the truth of the matter and gather evidence for the opposite. Because the science and the evidence really shows us that alcohol puts our body through way more stress than had we not drank. When you take a guided break from alcohol, you're able to take a pause. Take a pause from the stress that alcohol brings your body and the thoughts, and actually become a scientist in your life and observe what's true for you. What do you really want? What do you really need? How does your body need to be taken care of? Oftentimes, stress is a signal for us to be able to slow down a little bit and ask ourselves, what do I need to feel loved in this moment? What do I need to feel heard in this moment? What do I need to feel self-soothed in this moment? Or what do I need to be nourished in this moment? It's always an opportunity for us to turn in, reflect, and make little shifts in our lives. Albeit 2020 has been crazy, and some of the most successful and happy people I've met this year are ones who have taken it as an opportunity to learn about what they really need this year, how they really can turn within and meet their needs inside of themselves and develop healthy rituals and habits to serve them instead of constantly outsourcing all of that to alcohol. So if you've been questioning the role of alcohol in your life and you feel like it's something you're not too happy about, maybe it's a love-hate relationship for you, you deserve to take a guided break and really explore your true needs and how to meet them in healthy ways and remove these unhelpful beliefs around alcohol in the first place. As long as you think alcohol is relaxing you, it's going to feel like deprivation when you go without. But when you truly learn the science of how alcohol affects your body and the stress hormones it releases, you're going to start to see it. You're going to start to see how your thoughts race even more when you drink versus when you're not drinking. You're going to start to see the rumination, recrimination more. You're going to start to see the chatter for what it really is. Your brain is a monkey mind when it's drinking and after drinking. When you remove that, you create space. You create peace. You create mental clarity. And I can't wait for you to use that mental clarity to actually discover what really makes me happy and what do I really want to do with my life. What brings me long-term contentment? What brings me meaning? What brings me fulfillment? Because trust me, it's so much bigger than a beverage in a glass. So if you're interested in peeling back the layers and discovering what needs you truly have that can be met in so many healthier ways other than alcohol, I think now is the perfect time to take an 8-week guided break and take my course, Become Euphoric, where you're not going to do this alone. You're going to dive deep not only into the science of alcohol and understand what this phenomenon has meant and been in your life, but also uncover and discover the beliefs and thoughts that might be holding you back so you can replace them with ones that make you feel like an empowered badass, that make you feel like you can go after the dream life you've always deserved, that make you feel like when you question yourself and ask, who am I to, that you truly believe that you can go for anything you want. When you take in that mental clarity in that space, you often find what you're really passionate about. And I know that there's a gift inside of you that has been waiting to be unleashed on the world. You are never, ever, ever is there been anyone like you on this planet, and you deserve to see what your fullest potential is. You deserve to see what you're truly capable of without a mental toxin robbing your energy. So, as much as you might feel that stress is keeping you in a lockstep habit with drinking every night, drinking is only making your stress worse, and this is totally proven on both a scientific and observational level. I challenge you to explore what an 8-week break could do for you in my course, Become Euphoric, where you can get started today on an 8-week break from alcohol and fully uncover what beliefs don't serve you and replace them with the ones that do. Where you get to visualize your dream life, your dream rituals, your dream healthy habits, develop a morning routine, and go through this experience really, really collecting the tools that will give you the most holistic, fulfilled life going forward. At the end of the 8 weeks, you get to decide, did you like your life better with or without the alcohol? And you always have the autonomy to make an empowered choice. But just remember, if you've never tried it yet, you've never lived a life you've never lived. You have no idea what it can feel like to unleash your inner passions and purpose and fulfillment and go after true meaning in your life. I hope that this challenge sounds good to you, and I'll see you in the course.